Hey, I have not done one of these in a while. I got 3 books. I'm gonna flip to random pages and just read for y'all. So, first book, we got Essentials of Electric Motors and Controls. Random page, here we go. Magnetism. A magnet is a substance that attracts iron and produces a magnetic field. There are 2 types of magnets, permanent and temporary. Permanent magnets are a natural phenomenon. They were first discovered when it was found that a certain type of stone called magnetite was attracted to iron. These stones later became known as lodestones or leading stones because they always aligned themselves north and south. Permanent magnets do not require any power to retain their magnetic field. The north and south poles of a permanent magnet are joined together by an invisible field of magnetic lines of force called flux that surround the entire magnet. The pattern of the flux lines can be seen by placing a permanent magnet under a piece of glass and sprinkling iron filings onto the glass. The filings will align themselves in a pattern. If a piece of soft iron is placed in the magnetic field of the permanent magnet, it takes on the magnetic properties of the permanent magnet. It does not have to touch the magnet to take on its characteristics. The magnetic field of the permanent magnet induces a magnetic field called induction in the piece of soft iron. The piece of soft iron then becomes a temporary magnet and remains a magnet as long as it is in the magnetic field. If 2 magnets are brought together, they either attract or repel each other, depending on their orientation. A basic rule of magnetism states that like poles repel each other and unlike poles attract each other. This attracting and repelling action is an essential component of electric motor operation, and is what causes the rotating action of electric motors. Temporary magnets can also be created by current flowing through a conductor that surrounds a metal core. Now we're reading a page of Quick and Easy Knits. This is kind of a treat. I wanted to treat myself to something kind of fun, so the problem with this is I can't really read it. All it is instructions. I'll just read the introduction. You never know. Might be a good introduction. If you love knitting, Quick and Easy Knits is the perfect book for you. With 100 quick and easy patterns to choose from, there are lots of projects that will appeal to competent beginners and more advanced knitters alike. Designed by 8 talented and experienced authors, these fabulous projects are the work of Sue Stratford, Val Pierce, Susan Johns, Monica Russell, Lee Ann Garrett, Susan Cords, Susan Penny, and Fiona McDonald. The range of projects includes knitted beanies, flowers, scarves, boot cuffs, phone socks, tea cozies, teddy bears, baby booties, fruit and vegetables, cupcakes, aliens, headbands, wrist warmers, and mini Christmas knits. So there is something here for everyone to choose from. There is a useful section on knitting know-how and useful techniques at the beginning, which explains what you need to make these charming projects. Every single one of these beautiful knitted items will make lovely personalized gifts for friends and family. Projects include a Celtic braid mug hug, an owl tea cozy, pom-pom baby booties, a lacy fern headband, and heather and sky scarf, lilac wrist warmers, Olivia sweetheart bear, a classic beanie, a curious sheep phone sock, a daisy, blueberry buckle boot cuffs, and Nordic bunting. The techniques used are simple for knitters of all skill levels and include cables, lace, and tarja, as well as stocking, stitch, and garter stitch. Whatever the occasion, there is a wealth of inspiration here with projects that will make the perfect gift for birthdays, christenings, anniversaries, weddings, Valentine's Day, Halloween, and Christmas. Happy knitting. Okay, this is also a little treat. The Double Life of Bob Dylan. He had a short life, only from 1941 to 1966. I don't know what song I like by him, but I know I like one of his songs. Random page, here we go. If Dylan was working on anything that cold gray dawn, it would have been Masters of War, a song we can confidently date to Dylan's first week in London. Thanks to an impromptu spoken intro he gave before recording it for Alan Lomax that winter, I wrote it in London. I was at this rehearsal place in Putney, and I kept seeing the papers every day, putting down Macmillan, suggesting that Kennedy's gonna screw him on these missiles. They got headlines in the papers underneath Macmillan's face saying, "Don't mistrust me. How can you treat a poor maiden so?" The song itself came easily, as did the tune, a marginal rearrangement of Jean Ritchie's famous rendition of Notamon Town. That would mean trouble ahead. Dylan later insisted, the song was not anti-war. It has to do with the military-industrial complex. It seems this was indeed his target, and he now had him in his sights. As he told Richard Farina in London, "Man, there's things going on in this world you got to look at, right? You can't pretend they ain't happening. You can keep on singing about Railroad Bill, or you can step out." The message was evidently meant for Farina's future sister-in-law, Joan Bax. If Masters of War was Dylan stepping out, he added another dimension shortly afterwards, writing out a fair copy of the finished lyrics. He attached a crude drawing of a man with a guitar standing over a grave to make sure that they're dead. There is something otherworldly about this man, as if he has just returned from the salt sea. A closer look reveals a cloven hoof, proof that Satan was alive and well and ready on Dylan's mind. But for now he had more pressing matters, some rehearsals to attend to. The place in Putney was St. Mary's Hall, hired by the BBC. And almost immediately after Dylan's belated arrival, there was a problem. Okay. Just kind of easing myself back into this whole reading thing. So, thanks for tuning in. That wraps up today's reading. And I hope to do a lot more often. Okay. Have a good night.